was a close one.
Was it a close one?
Wouldn't say it was horrible. He had the behind the shoulder, but the deer ducked the arrow, so.
So.
It wasn't all him.
It wasn't all him.
No.
So you bow or?
We
rifle?
have crossbows. Cheat.
Nice.
Cheat.
Yeah. How are they cheating?
It's extended rifle season, pretty much. It's easier. It's easier.
Okay.
I mean, it's got a scope. It's got all of it on there.
Nice. And then you don't though.
Yeah. Then you don't draw back. You just pull the trigger.
Do you pull? Do you have?
It's a little crank.
Little crank.
Crank it back and clicks, and then put the arrow in.
Old
nice.
school.
Yeah.
Old school, new school still.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. So if it was, so your dad just started, right? So who got you into it then?
His grandpa hunted, and I don't know, just was my brother hunted, and I was like, I want to do it. So I got into it, and it's a fun time.
Nice. What's your favorite, or what's your biggest kill?
I got two pretty much identical basket 8-pointers. They're not very big. Just little.
Okay.
They're not nothing mountable. Nothing to put on the wall.
Okay. I mean, it's basically winning hot laps, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can put it that way.
Yeah. It's a hot lap winning. Okay. Trophy. Nice. Oh, man. I've kind of wanted to hunt, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't want to do it for, like, the sport. Like, I just would rather kill and then, dress it and all that. But I don't know how I would do with all the guts.
Oh, boy. Yeah. I mean, it's a little queasy at first, but you'll get over it.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to hunt?
I mean, deer hunting's fun, but I don't know. I'd rather bird hunt. We've been goose hunting a lot this year.
Okay.
Somewhat successful. I mean, I only hunt by myself pretty much, so it's kind of hard to goose hunt by yourself.
And you don't have a dog or anything to help you retrieve?
We've got a pointer, but she's not a goose dog.
She's not a goose dog.
She's
not a bird dog.
She looks at him and she's like, "That's a big bird, Dad. I don't know if I want to grab that."
Oh man, what's up, Elliot? Man, this feels weird because it feels like we've been off for a long time. But welcome back to another episode of the Bench Racing Podcast presented by Kenosha Plumbing. Yeah, I forgot who our last guest was. And then when I came down here today to start setting up, I saw my last guest. I'm like, oh, wow, it was Hunter Lossman.
Yeah.
He knows you.
Yeah, I went to school with him.
Yeah, or you guys know of each other at least.
I went to high school with him. He's 1 year below me, I believe.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. And between you and Andrew, you're younger than Andrew, right?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. For those that... This is not a repeat guest. This is Terry Kiedrowski. We had Andrew Kiedrowski on earlier this year, and now we have Terry. So, the third time's a charm.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have the live show at Wilmot Raceway for the World of Outlaws late models, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that was gonna be nice.
That was gonna be really sweet.
Yeah.
Which is how I was just like, okay, if I'm gonna do a show at Wilmot, I gotta get a modified driver that I know is gonna be racing. I'm like, oh, I could get Terry on, because then Andrew was just like, yeah, my brother would do it, and I was like, okay. And then that got rained out, and then we were gonna loosely aim for the live show, which was the next week, but I kind of had that already filled up with time. And I was like, oh, let's do the Fall Classic. And then I had some rides pop up, and I'm like, oh, we can't do it for the Fall Classic.
Yeah.
And then last week, we had 2 dates, and we both accepted the other date without each other knowing that we accepted the other date, and I was out of the country. So, but yeah, now you're going to be out of the country coming up, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, we got Terry here finally, modified driver at Wilmot Raceway primarily, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And so, yeah, we're going to be talking to him. What's up, Clean Sweep DC? Oh, stop it. You're making me blush. I'll heart it still. I'll still heart it. So, yeah, we missed the whole team at Shady Hill, or as some of the locals were calling it, Crappy Hill. Well, I can't say it rhymes with shady, but crappy, let's say that. At first I thought it was that way, but I kind of like it, obviously. But priority info before I forget, we have Nathan's Midwest Racers event November 2nd at K1 Speed. It's going to be on the Super Track. It's going to be streamed on Badger TV, so that's going to be super dope. You can get your butt kicking streamed, or you doing the butt kicking is streamed. So that's going to be cool. Andrew. Hey, Uncle T. Congrats, Andrew. Congrats for the one coming up. And the reason right before we went on air, he said that you can't go deer hunting with him. Come on, dude. Priorities. Priorities. But yeah, so Midwest Racers event, November 2nd. It's $150. Nate's working on getting free food to be catered in. There's possibly some big names in this dirt track world coming. Hopefully we get that finalized so I can at least say it, because you are going to definitely want to get your butt kicked by them. So, and then also the Benchy nominations. While we were in Punta Cana, I released the nomination post, which I will be resharing here this week, for Bright Future, Female Driver of the Year, People's Champ, Crash of the Year, Best Looking Car, Driver of the Year, Crew Chief of the Year, and Guest of the Year. So when you see that post, or go back a little bit and see it, each photo, just nominate your driver. If you see a driver that you were going to nominate already nominated, nominate them again, because the more that driver has, the more likely they're going to be in the final for the actual award, which we'll be releasing in like around Halloween. So now that we got all that out of the way, we got Alan Hafford. Was dark going into one? Yes, it was. That is very true. Have you ever raced at Shady Hill?
No.
No?
Never been down there.
Okay. Obviously, Tater was there, and we were talking, and we're like, this has the vibe of Chilton.
Oh, yeah, that place.
It has the vibe. It has, like, that energy. I feel like it wasn't as narrow, and the corners were a little bit more sweeping and a lot more banked, but we're like, yeah, this is...
A Chilton?
This is a Chilton. And, yeah... Dad was nervous. I was nervous. Yeah, got the lead, and the turn one was dark, like black, and I almost hit a parked black car in the middle of the track.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, no. And like, it was like the banking is this way, and then towards the wall it flattens out. And I came in with a whole head of steam, and I was running like the top before the shelf. And at that point, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna cream the wall. I'm gonna cream the wall. And by the grace of God, the right rear ate a little bit and kept me off of it. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And through the deuces, the Tater too. So recap and the vlog will be coming out this week too. So I got to work out with my GoPro, because now my GoPro can actually go to my phone and I can clip stuff and use it for TikTok. Nice. So that's gonna be super sweet. So you'll be getting to see not seeing the black car, like I didn't see the black car until it was too late. All right, but let's get into a little bit about our guest here, Terry. Why did you pick K9?
It wasn't originally K9. We had it 5. Me and Andrew were sitting at the kitchen table one day, and we were going to be racing together, and I'm like, I don't know what number to be. It can't be the same number. And he's like, just do 5. And so that's how that turned out. And
is there a meaning behind 5 for you or him?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. And then we didn't race together, and I was like, I got to change my luck. This 5 is just horrible luck for us. So we changed it, and it worked. Opening night this year, changed the number, we won. So we thought the luck was good, but then it changed.
It changed, and I was there in a big way. I like K9 S for you. Autumn. Yes, K9s4U.org. But yeah, K9. So, and then why is K9 a Kiedrowski thing?
Our mom's dog kennel, so we went with K9.
Yeah.
So that's our main sponsor, and just fit.
Yes, it does. It does. When I see K9, I just automatically think of Kiedrowski's. Like that is a branding number for Shizzle. And then, do you have a racing nickname at the track yet?
No, I don't got no nickname.
You don't got no nicknames?
No.
Okay. Do you want a nickname?
I mean, if someone makes one, I'd be.
You'd be good with it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. How do you feel about drivers making up their nicknames?
It's got to be someone else making it. It can't be the driver.
Yeah. Because, like, I would love to be called the North Pole Nightmare, because, like, that is just intimidating. But I can't be because of Bill Paylog, and I came up with it. But DC sticks. Sticks.
It's a good one.
Yep, Alan Hafford here. Darn Lapper. He was referring to the heat race.
I didn't see no lapper.
I did show him, and I'm sorry. I'm very proud of that pass. Oh, man. Okay, so no nickname, so I gotta think of a nickname. Oh, we'll come up with a nickname.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, not right now, because that's too, that's like,
be
funny,
be
funny.
Yeah,
be funny. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, because I was just talking about the benchies, like, I was saying that one of the voting ones is the best looking car, and I mean, your car is looking pretty sweet.
It was looking good.
It was looking good for the first,
Yeah.
probably 30 laps of its life?
We got probably 40.
40? Okay. What do you do for work?
I work at Southport Heating and Cooling. I do HVAC construction.
Nice. That sounds very adult.
Yeah.
Yep. And how long have you been doing that for?
4 years now.
4 years? Nice. And how old are you?
22.
22? Man.
I started at 17.
Wow. Man.
Graduated early, and I'm like, well, might as well go to work.
Yeah. Wow. And then obviously for the people that tuned in right when right when we started recording, what do you do for fun? And we were talking about hunting.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Fishing. Me and my dad go fishing when we're not racing.
Nice.
We quit racing. Well, we thought we did. We didn't have a car for a while, and we did quit. And he's like, "We're buying a boat." And he buys a boat. Then I got a deal on this car, and I'm like, "We're done fishing."
Yeah, done fishing. Oh man! So when you go fish, do you have a spot, or you just kind of hit different places?
Like to go different places, but our go-to spots are Lake Beulah, Powers Lake.
Okay.
Around farther west. Over here, kind of is not very good fishing.
Not good fish, yeah.
No.
Like just too many people fishing, or just the fish?
We don't really catch anything over here.
Okay.
We go to Eagle Lake during the winter, but during the summer it's too weedy. It's horrible out there. Man.
So you ice fishing too?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we got our hobbies all year round.
Yeah. Oh man. So it's just like race season, but like just a different time. Yeah. Just one right on to the next. The Racine Nightmare. I mean, I like that. The racing nightmare, but like I'm making up too much of that. Nope. Let it go. What do you remember your first laps in a race car or go kart?
It was a Grand National. We traded a boat because we liked fishing before we raced, and we traded a boat for the Grand National I ran at Beaver Dam, and our first laps were at Wilmot during an open practice, and I was not very good.
I mean,
I was just 15. I'd never driven even a car on the road. I was fine. But
yeah, you didn't wide it up.
No,
good.
Just opening night I did.
Oh, just
but that wasn't my fault. Can't blame me. 2 cars spun in front of me, and it was dusty, and I didn't see them. They came from the infield. And it was all dust, and I hit them. And
that sounds very familiar, actually.
Yeah.
We'll get into that story here in a second. A car coming from the infield.
Yeah, I mean.
And you not really seeing them.
They were behind me that time.
Yeah.
These cars were in front of me.
Yeah. So you ran a Grand National for how many races? Or
we did, I think it was 2 years. And then we got a deal running a mini sprint that was short-lived, and then my brother had his modified, and he went a different route, and we bought the modified off him, and we just went racing that.
Nice. So have you ever raced your brother on the track at the same time?
Yeah, we raced mini sprints together about 4 times.
Okay.
And then
you had to quit so that he could keep winning, right?
Yeah. Exactly what it was.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then we raced. I had 2 modifieds all put together, and he raced one time, and that was the only time we were together. But that was only, I think it was only hot laps, or maybe the heat race, because I blew my one motor up, and he said, just hop in your other car, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, all right. So is that something that you think you guys are going to be doing in the near future?
We've talked about it. We want to, but I don't know, his liking of cars is my
disliking of
cars.
Pretty
much.
I'm kind of picking that up because you seem to be doing fenders.
I like fenders. He likes open wheel. I mean,
yeah.
He said he'll race a modified if he's not paying for it. So
yeah, I could see that.
Because he doesn't want to buy one on like his own and he said, I don't want to pound panels out every week. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you can run on Shady Hill. I mean, those guys are really good.
Yeah.
But those are UMPs, not IMCAs. Okay. So, yeah, when you did race your brother, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part. We only did it a couple times, so didn't really. He raced mini sprints for a long time. It was my first time, so it's not like we were running together.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was cool to be out there with him.
Yeah.
But,
Nice. Where do you want racing to take you?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
I mean,
just wherever.
I don't know where it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna take me anywhere besides broke.
Besides broke.
It's gonna take me there.
Nice. So you raced. All right. So you raced the Grand National, Modified, ran a Lightning.
Yeah.
What out of those three, or if I'm missing one, what's your favorite car?
I mean, the Modified. I was the best at.
The best at. Okay.
But yeah, I mean the Grand National. I was the last night we ran. I was second, and then I blew a right rear tire. I mean, it was fun running up front, but then we got a deal racing the Lightning Sprints, and then I sold it, and then that deal fell apart, and then, yeah.
Okay.
That's how that went.
So what's the difference for us uncultured swines down here in southern part of Wisconsin that we don't really understand what Grand Nationals are? What are they?
Pretty much just a souped-up street stock. That's all it really is. Street stock with screw jacks.
Okay.
But, I mean, they weren't much different back when I raced them. You could run different tires, but now Grand Nationals running G60s, so
okay. So those are softer. G60s are hard.
G60s are hard.
Harder. Okay.
The ones we ran were super soft. But
okay. Is there anything that you haven't driven yet that you'd be like, I'd like to drive that?
I mean, I'd like to try the 604 wing cars, but I don't know about buying one. I don't know if I could do it.
They're fun. They are fun. I mean,
I'd like to drive one time. Maybe I'll be able to next year for practice.
Yeah, they are so glued to the track. Like, my goodness.
That's what I got told.
Yeah. But. I mean, Tater drives them. I've driven it twice now, which is cool. Ralph Johnson's been jumping back and forth between a non-wing and a wingless. Or wingless and a winged. Obviously, Chris Klemko. It's just, I mean, I like the non-winged a little bit better still because you like the driver has to make the speed. I feel like the 604 wings, all the cars are the same because you don't lift. Once you can grasp that, you just don't lift and keep the air on the wing. They're all the same speed, so it's the driver that makes them slower. And I make the winged car really slow the last time I drove it.
Yeah.
For Tom Brown. I was just still focused on
don't wreck it.
That was the first thing. Don't wreck it, for sure. Don't wreck it. Considering we started 11th or something, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And when he asked me, he's like, you want to drive my car for the Fall Classic? And I'm like, yeah. And then we talked about damages. And I'm like, well, all right, if we start on the front row, I'm sending it. 100%, I'm sending it.
That's fair enough.
But we start row 6, let him go.
Take her easy.
Just take it easy. But yeah, they are fun. And the wings kind of rattle and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's mind trippy when you grab the wing and you can just if it wasn't so bulky, one person could grab it. It's just it's just weird. And that's what glues you to the track. Anything else? Late model?
No. I'd like to run a late model, but that's way too expensive.
Way too expensive.
Yeah.
You're gonna sound like your brother. I mean, I'll race a late model, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I will. If someone has just a hot lap 1 hour, I'll hop in it.
Yeah, they look super fun.
Yeah.
I mean, all race cars look like they're super fun, but yeah. And then let's see, do I have any other questions off the top of my head? Or probably your girlfriend? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long?
3 years.
3 years.
3.5. Okay. Almost 4.
All right. So when is the question coming? Okay.
Oh, come on.
I'm not gonna do that to you. Okay. What's her name?
Megan.
Nice. Yep. Did she come to the track a lot?
Yep, she comes every race.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. It's hard to find a girl like that.
Yeah, she's all for it. So
there you go. That always helps too. All right, let's get into topic 1 here. And also, Facebook, if you have any questions for Terry here, feel free to comment for him to answer, or me to answer. But let's get into topic 1 here, presented by Next Gen Pumps, veteran-owned, American-made, warranty like no other. If you're looking for a sump pump, check out Next Gen and Tom Brown in Silver Lake. So we're going to talk about Terry's season. Came out.
It's a rough one.
Swinging. Came out though swinging.
Oh, no, it did not come out swinging. We went to Gravity Park.
Oh, yeah, wait. Sorry.
New car.
Yeah,
and I got in it. And we had the Simons there. Mike and Nick were there.
Okay.
It's one of their chassis, and we went there, and heat race, I got in the thing, and it looked like I've never driven a modified in my life. And I spun out on lap 1, and it was a 1-spin rule, so they told me to get off, and I'm like, oh, whatever, that's cool. I mean, rule's a rule. So I'm like, 1 lap, new car, perfect.
Still wasn't
kicked me out of there. And it was still no damage. It was perfect. And I was like, I will go out for the feature, tighten her up. Went out for the feature, looked like an idiot, didn't know what I was doing. It looked like I've never driven one. And I went up to Mike and I'm like, dude, I can't drive this thing. Like, I don't know, this thing is just weird. And we went out for practice at Wilmot, and it was like a light switched. Like,
so was your driving?
No,
it's just
like,
or something
it was
with
just
the car?
a different car. There was a different steering quickener deal. This one was like super sensitive, and the one I had was not as sensitive.
You had to crank it,
and it was like super touchy. And I turned the wheel, and it just jerked, and then I overcorrected and spun myself out. And I was like, man. And then I went to Wilmot, and it was like a light switch. It was perfect.
Nice.
Did great on practice, and I was like, all right, Dad, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. And he's like, I don't have any really high expectations, and I'm like, I don't either, but we'll see what happens opening night.
And what happened opening night?
And then we won the feature, and I was like, wow, this thing is awesome. Gravity Park, me and that place are just not friends.
Yeah, we ran the Wingless there one time, and I'm like, it's fun, but the Wingless cars I don't feel belong there because it's just so tight and narrow.
Yeah,
and you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, I don't like that place. I mean, I've nothing wrong. I can't bash the place, but I just don't.
But you went back.
I did go back. I don't know why, but I did. And I was like, maybe it's a fluke. And in the heat race, I was perfect. I was running 3rd, and then the last lap, I caught a lapper, and 3rd or 4th place got around me. But in the feature, same deal. And I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not coming back.
Sometimes you have to, the truck's got to screw you twice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure. I thought it was a fluke, but no, for sure. So, yeah, one opening night.
Yep.
That was awesome.
It was great. It was a big boost of confidence. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, we got a good year ahead of us.
Yeah. and then racing gods were like, no. So we were there, obviously. I was in the stands because the Wingless weren't racing at Wilmot.
Yeah.
So when we're not racing at Wilmot, I still go to support.
Yeah.
And but I go to the grandstand so I can drink.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, every time, and then I don't know if you play this game. Comment if you play this game and you go to the track in the grandstands and you like pick bets, like, oh, I think he's gonna, blah, blah, I think he's gonna win, or he's gonna win.
I used to do that when I was little.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And we'd go around the line of who's with us, and they'd pick a driver.
Yep, exactly. Same thing. And there's about 4 or 5 of us, and they're all picking guys that are like in the first 2 rows. I'm like, I got that K9 starting like fit. Like I think you started like 8th or 10th or something.
You were the point leader, so we started 10th.
10th, yep. And I was like, I got K9. They're like, he's in the back. I'm like, don't worry, he won't be there long. And you were moving.
We're up to 3rd.
Yep. Finally got around to 37.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah, and I did, have you seen the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
No.
No? Okay. So there's a part of the movie where they're going down the wrong way of the interstate, and the trucks are coming up, and the guy's not paying attention driving, the passenger's going like like that. When I saw the 37 driving in the infield in turn 4, I was like, guys, watch. And
I couldn't watch.
And everyone just started watching right when you got into your left rear.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I set the car, and I was wide open again, and I got hit, and that thing went over so quick.
Man, it was 2 or 3 times?
It was, I think it was 3, and then it like did something on the nose and landed upside down.
Yeah, it was spectacular.
I got out, and my brother's on the berm, and they're screaming at him. I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna get in trouble. But we did. But he cared. He was out there because he cared. He was,
and modifieds don't flip like that.
No,
they don't.
They don't flip very often.
No. So when they do, it's pretty big. Then I felt so bad. I was like, oh. And they're like, what? And I'm like, he was fast. I'm like, yeah, but he won last week. Like, he was definitely coming. Like, this was going to, like, not that it can't be, but, like, when you only have, 7 or 8 races at a track, like, you have to be on every night.
Especially with the IMCA point deal they did this year is 1 point per position. So if you finished first and then had a huge drop, then you were never catching.
Yeah, Circle City's steel blocks are like that. It's 25 for first and then 24 for second.
Yeah.
And it's like...
it's brutal.
I mean, it keeps you in the hunt.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get momentum swing.
Yeah, for sure.
So how bad was the car after that flip? Because I know...
pretty mangled. And then I don't know why. We're pitted the first stall right where I flipped. And they took the car in the air all the way around the track. And the fuel cell's hanging by the hoses. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I mean, it's already mangled enough. Who cares?
Yeah.
But
just so to make sure everyone got to see.
Yeah, everyone see what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're watching or anything.
Man. And I remember walking by your guys' pit. And I was like,
it rolled into the trailer.
Yeah.
And we just ratchet strapped the fuel cell up and it rolled right in. I mean, it was a little cockeyed, but
which I would be worried if it wasn't cockeyed looking at a modified.
I mean,
it rolled in straight. The axles are straight.
That thing don't go in the trailer straight. It always wants to go left. You winch it in. You got to hold the steering wheel for it to go straight.
To the right.
Yeah, they don't go straight.
Okay. So like a sprint car.
Yeah, pretty much.
You might actually be pretty good.
Hold the right shot.
Yeah, hold the wheel this way like this a little bit.
Yeah.
While you're idling around, you'll be good. That was bad. And then everyone was down there, and I told your dad, I'm like, hey, now's a good time to be like, we need sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, we could have used some.
Yeah.
But
oh man, so that was May 18th.
I mean, I give the 37 credit. He came up to me, talked to me. He didn't come up to me that night. I told him to get away from me. But during the week, he texted me and called me, and he helped me.
Nice. Okay.
He was good. He's good dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you messed up, dude. You messed up pretty good, but
so
it's okay.
So I didn't want to bring the story up just yet in the episode, but like when we were down at Shady Hill and we were done, the four bangers apparently fight a lot.
Oh, it's kind of like Sycamore.
Yeah,
Sycamore. We were down there with Andrew, and he's in stage, and I drove the 4-wheeler up to watch, and there's beer cans getting thrown on the track with the, like, I don't know what they call them. There's the street stocks, but they're like they're kind of more like the stock-looking cars.
Yeah.
And they come flying in the pits, and the tech officials, like, they're going to fight over there, and no one stopped them. They just, this is normal. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wilmot, there'd be the police, security, before they even get to the pit spot.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so we finished the race. The modifieds are on during their intermission for their 100-lap feature, so they're at lap 50. So the promoter comes on and is like, hey, you get paid by the pill draw where you checked it. So I'm like, oh, I'll go over there. Well, I get about halfway there, and everyone has enclosed trailers, even the four bangers.
Really?
Because it's Indiana.
That's rare.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, some of those cars look really nice, so I'm like, dang, they put some
money in there.
Yeah, they put some pride into their elbow grease. So I'm walking, and it's a four-banger trailer. The car's still out. Front end's all twisted up or whatever. And there's like maybe 3 people outside of in the pit. And as I'm just about to be able to look into the trailer, I hear 2 girls screaming, like, bloody murder. I'm walking, and just as I can see it, there's 2 guys rolling around punching
in the trailer?
Yeah, like that. And then I'm like, do I go over there and break it up? I'm like, no, I'm an outsider.
Yeah, you gotta watch.
I'm gonna go walk back. So like I walked, got my pay, and when I came back, there was like 100 people in the pit, and they're screaming, and they were still doing that, like the one dude. I'm like, so sometimes it's better just to let tempers cool a little bit.
Let them do it.
Yeah. or let him go at it. But yeah, so that flip was May 18th, but then your next race looked like it was, June 14th. So you had about a month. Was that because of the car, or just because?
No, there was no schedule for Wilmot, and we were gonna run the 2-day show at Beaver Dam. We hot lapped there the night before to see if the car was good, and I went out there and held it wide open all the way around. That track's so fast, and it was good. But then we saw like Kyle Strickler and all them guys are coming. I'm like, dude, we have no chance. I'm not going. So we went to Gravity Park and just got mad at myself. Told myself I can't drive a car.
Maybe it's chilling. Maybe it's not
it is.
you.
It is chilling.
Yeah, it's chilling. It's chilling. Oh man. But then the rest of the year just was not your year.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It starts off good and ends bad. But I mean, 2 of those nights we had heat wins. We had high hopes, but then the feature we either get screwed over or something happens that. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 heat race wins, a feature win, and then you ended the season kind of strong with the 2/8, so
I mean,
not too bad.
Not what I wanted, but I mean, I'll take it. Finishing is where I want to start.
Yeah, I mean, when you start the year off winning the feature, though, it's kind of hard not to kind of get out of yourself.
You're like, I'm going to do good this year.
Yeah.
I mean, not.
I mean, the season opener feature winner at Wilmot was Rusty Egan. He finished 11th in points.
Yeah.
So he had a really tough season too. So, but yeah, so you ended the season with a win, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s out of 5 features at Wilmot.
Yeah.
1 bad flip, and then Beaver Dam, 11th and a 20th.
Yeah. So not too bad.
No, for a fast track.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been there in a modified. This was our first year there in a modified. So.
Okay. Favorite track?
I do like that place, but now it's gone.
Yeah. Is it gone or?
They said they're having specials now.
Yeah.
So who knows if that's just the World of Outlaws or they're having their little 2-day shows.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, I don't get the deal with Beaver Dam. Like World of Outlaws come
every year. It's
packed.
Full. Yeah.
Then they don't run, I mean, I know they run weekly, but then when they have sprint car shows show up, they can barely get like 300 people in, it seems like. It's just so weird.
It's just the World of Outlaws. They love them there.
Yeah. Jeez, maybe they should have a World of Outlaw class, weekly class.
Maybe multiple times a year.
Yeah. But man, I mean, Beaver Dam has been good to us. One of our better tracks.
Yeah.
So I'm sad to see it.
It's fun.
In a special, but because that's what happened to Gas City. They went from weekly to specials, and now it's sold. And
it's gone.
Rumor has it Walgreens bought it, and they're putting a fulfillment center in there.
And there you go. That's someone.
Yeah. So then people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to shop at Walgreens." I'm like, well, "Why don't you stop cheering for the guys that stopped going to make this track go into this where they have to go only specials?"
Can't blame it on Walgreens.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do you guys shop at Menards? Because I forgot what track that was.
Hales Corners.
Yeah, Hales Corners. Right, yeah, too many people want to try to be like, I'm not shopping there, but then it's like, okay, but do you do that with all? Do you know about where? Do you eat McDonald's? Do you do this? Do you shop here? Let's like.
Do you go anywhere?
Yeah, do you go anywhere? Do you have your own farm? Like, come on. But yeah, so I mean, a pretty good. I mean,
it was okay.
It was, yeah. So what's your plans for next year?
Don't know. We got our car's torn apart. I'll throw a new body on it. We'll get another wrap, but.
How much is a body?
Sheets of sheet metal are like $150. It takes 3 of them to do the sides.
Okay.
So I mean.
So one for like the door and then the half for the back.
Yeah.
Or for the last quarter.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. You kind of split it up. If you're really good, you can get 2 sheets for 1 per side. But I always mess one up, so you gotta get extras.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a $150 screw up, but whatever.
So you buy just the sheets and then you cut it yourself?
I got a bender at home and bend it all up. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Super easy.
I'm sure it's it's like one of the easier things.
Yeah, but it's really easy to mess up.
Yeah.
You could do a wrong cut and you're like, yeah, that looks horrible, throw that away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's going to be the backup.
Yeah. That's if I mess this one up.
Yeah.
And every panel on that car was crinkled and folded when I went over, but
even the chassis.
Yeah, a little bit. We took the tractor, ran her over a few times, took the sledgehammer, pounded her out. And I'm surprised we got it as straight as we did.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't look too bad.
No.
It looked like it. We went to Beaver Dam and got teched in, and they're like, "When was this car rolled over?" And I was like, "Thanks, dude. Way to remind me."
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah. We almost didn't show up, but we did.
We got her put together.
Yeah. And then do you cut the decks and stuff too, or you get that stuff ordered?
Yep. That's the easier part. Just cutting around the tubes is a little challenging.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you mess that up, no one's gonna see that.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's gonna see it if you messed up the side, but I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
So
and then
I'm gonna fix it,
and all your haters are gonna see it.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. Let's see here. Let's get back to the comments. Jimmy, what's up, guys? How's y'all's night going, Mr. DC? It's going pretty good. Thanks for asking. It's kind of weird going from like 90s every day to cold and windy.
Yeah.
Not cold, but 60s. Elliot here. That's what we did for World of Outlaws. Oh yeah, Elliot went up to the Beaver Dam. And Mr. Clean Sweep DC. Thank you. Yeah. So you said we're not sure what you're doing next year, but
I mean we'll
race,
more but
modified, right?
Yeah, we'll race the mod.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I don't know. We had talks of doing something else, but I don't think we're gonna go that route.
Okay.
We'll just race the modified.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you look good in the modified.
We'll see if we're on the schedule at Wilmot. I mean, we only got a couple nights this year, so we'll see how many times we're on there. Then we'll.
What is the perfect amount of races for one track?
For modified?
Yeah, for you. Or like no, not for modifieds. For you, what would you say is?
I mean, up north, all them tracks run the same classes every week.
Yeah.
I mean, if Wilmot would run every week, modifieds I'd run every week, but I mean, if I have to go up north, I'm not going every week. I can't.
So you're more of like a 14 to 16 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless something happens that I wad one up, then I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't have a backup sitting in the garage. I mean, that's what I got.
Well, when I had Morgan Shepherd, and he was telling me how much like a roller is.
Yeah,
I'm like, they're not cheap. I mean, sprint cars are way cheaper.
Oh yeah.
But you throw them out a lot faster than the modified.
Yeah. A lot more often too.
Yeah, a lot more often. Okay, because Wilmot had 14, I think, for the Wisconsin Wingless. I think it was 14 scheduled shows, point shows, and then but then when we were at Circle City, it's only 6.
Oh.
And it's like once a month, and I'm like, I kind of like that. I
mean, that's not too bad. I mean,
you can
people from out of town can go down there, but
yeah. I mean, in the Circle City, I think the top 5, there's only 2 drivers from Indiana. Everyone else, so we got Wisconsin, Illinois, 2 Indianas, and I think a Florida.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I was just curious to see what you're thinking. Like, I don't want to run Wilmot once a week, or once a month, I should say, but like...
I mean, running a modified there once a week, I mean, that's going to be brutal. You might need a couple bodies throughout the year.
Yeah, at least a backup.
Yeah.
Push Truck Tony here. Big congratulations on your win. You were all up on that wheel for the win. Yes, I was. And I was throwing the juices to Tater. That was just cool.
You're reminding him quite a bit.
Yeah, I am. Oh, man. Tater's good people. Cool. Awesome. So, in the next year, are you planning on going more north, or you just kind of...
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'd go up there a couple times, but 141, I'll get handed to there, so I don't think I'll go there, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Try to find somewhere to go. Can't run Wilmot every week.
Yeah.
Gotta try something new.
Yep.
Gotta get better on dry, slick tracks.
Yeah.
You gotta go up north. I mean, Wilmot's now it's slick, but...
Yeah. Do you prefer the slick or the rough tacky for the mod?
I mean, I prefer tacky. It's easier to drive, but people will say that's when real... You can see who can actually drive on slick. I mean, cool, but it's more fun on a heavy track.
Yeah, especially when it has a little bit of character.
Yeah.
Where it kind of like wants to like shift you over in your seat a little bit. It's always fun.
I don't know. That's just my thought on it. People say, "Oh, you just can't drive on." It's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I can because I can't.
Yep. But that's what I prefer. I prefer tacky. Yeah. What do you think of Wilmot's track condition? The way that it started versus the way it ended.
It was rough at first.
Yeah.
It was
touch and go.
It was rough. And we went to those practice, and we didn't get out there till almost dark because it was a little heavy on the water. But
yeah.
I mean, throughout the season, it got smooth. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning, man, it was rough.
Yeah, it was.
It's surprised more cars didn't go upside down.
Seriously.
If the mini sprints were there early in the season, you would have seen them things go over.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was. I mean, we had a new body on the car, and it looks like it has 10 seasons on it. There was a lot of rocks, and I was not a fan of the rocks.
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty good. All right, we're gonna transition over here to topic 2. Presented by Pullman Auto. If you're looking for a new car, new to you car, check out Pullman Auto. 3 locations in Kenosha, 1 location in Racine. We'll be talking real quickly about the Wisconsin Wingless season because this is our first episode since the championship night. I know you said you didn't follow any of the IRA classes of the Wingless. That's fine. We'll be happy to have you come to the dark side sometime when you're ready.
Someone let me hop in their car and try it out. I don't know if I could spend all that money and not like it. That's what I'm.
I get it.
I need a crate motor in my modified. I mean, I need to get one of those. So then I would have majority of the cost right there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because like Marshall, when he came over, he's like, the wingless cars have so much more grip.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be in a wingless car. My dad is anti-wingless car. He is not for them.
I could see that. I mean, they are violent and dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going, gosh, I think I got to go back. Thankfully, the flips stopped happening, but I think we were like 9-10 features in a row where we had red flags from someone, even if it was a Tommy tip over or whatever, but it's still a red. Like, it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But for those that have watched, Mark Prober, right?
He owns the 37 car.
Yep, the crew chief says, "Hey, next year." Yes. What up, DC? The original DC there, David Crane. Thank you for all your help on Saturday. Much appreciated. It was a fun night for sure. But real quickly, for those that were there at Plymouth September 20th for the season finale for the Wisconsin Wingless, what about Johnny Fall's speech?
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it?
No.
So basically, they like, congratulations, and he's like, I gotta thank my crew chief who jumped the cushion and got his girlfriend pregnant.
Oh, jeez.
And he's here and they're due or whatever. Like, that was just hilarious. His speech was pretty cool. Johnny Fall, my zero, my hero. So it was the 13th different winner over the course of the season, or the travel season, obviously. And then your top winners was actually Tyler Cuxhouse with 5 feature wins. 2, or he might have had 3. I think he got 3 at Wilmot, 2 at Angel Park, because I don't think he won at Plymouth. But yeah, last year he had 1 feature as a rookie, and then comes out with 5 this year. Pretty cool. Your champion and second place in points, winning 3 features. I do declare, let me just double check. Yeah, Sivia did end up second. Zach Rader won the championship. They both had 3 feature wins. Ryan Zelski had 2 feature wins, and then all your single nobodies that only had 1 feature win was First Seth Hafford, which I actually forgot, Tater, that you had a feature win. Until I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you did have a feature win. I forgot where was that. No, just talking to myself. Johnny Fall, Trinity UTEC, Tate Hensley, Rusty Egan, Tim Cox, Ryan Marshall, and myself all had 1. And then 3 new winners, which was First Seth, Trinity, and Tate Hensley. that was really cool to see 3 new winners. And then your top 10 in points was Zach Rader, which it is nice to have a new champion that hasn't won a Wilmot championship or a series championship. So Klemko, this is his second track championship this year, but Zach's first championship in the Wingless car. So that's really cool. Won it by 40 points. So tight there. But 40 points over Jimmy Sivia. Third was Cuxhouse. Fourth, First Seth. Fifth, Tater, which he keeps his streak alive of. I think I got to look back because it was in a game that we had earlier this year. His worst finish in 10 years, in the 10 years of Wisconsin Wingless, is 6th.
Oh, that's nice.
So he's been between that 3rd and 6th every year. So that's really cool that he keeps that streak alive. 6th was Johnny Fall with missing a feature. Sorry, I saw Push Truck Tony's comment. He had 2 or 3. I'm going off of Push Truck Tony. I'm going off of the Wisconsin Wingless website, and it says 1. But yeah, I know I think it was the World of Outlaw night. It was the only night that he won. But correct me if I'm wrong. Bryce finished 10, 9, 8, 7th. Trinity UTech 8th. Tate Hensley 9th. And Ralph Johnson 10th. Crazy thing is, those last 4 drivers, career best finishes for the season championship. So that's really cool. 85% cars only had, 13 cars made 85%. Only 5 cars made 100% of the features. Oh, nice. Based off of, I mean, I'm sure that they're using drops and all that stuff too, which I am not for the drops because it's a pain in the butt to figure out, are these points with drops or without drops?
Yeah. And
when do they switch over?
Those points are confusing.
They are. Passing points are nice. Does IMCA use passing points for the feature, or is it just...
No, that's just 40, 39, 38, 37.
Oh, man. No passing points. Wilmot's, I know, is no passing points, but...
It doesn't matter where you finish in your heat race. I mean, as long as if you're 10th in points, if you make the top 5 invert or whatever invert, then you start inside the top 10 if you're 10th in points. But other than that, don't matter where you finish in your heat race.
So you're just out there possibly going to wreck your race car.
I mean, yeah, you can look at it that way.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting track time to get to track or whatever, but...
You just got to be in that invert spot, and then whatever.
Yeah. So real quickly, I will go over all the classes for everything that I've been keeping up with, like passing points, heat races, and stuff like that. But just for the IRA Wisconsin Wingless, Tyler Coxhouse had the most fastest times with 6. Ryan Marshall, who had to stop racing for health reasons. Probably why your dad's really kind of don't do it. Don't do the Wingless cars.
We talked to him the night that he was done, and he came up to us and he's like, I wouldn't be opposed to if the car owner said that this is our last night. And I'm like, And then on Monday, he posted that on Facebook, and I'm like, wow. Didn't see that coming.
Yep. I didn't see it either because he was running really strong.
I didn't see that at all.
No. I mean, if that night went any differently and he did not flip, he would. I think Marshall would have won the series championship this year because, I mean, beginning of August, we stopped racing, but he still has the most heat race wins of the whole series with 7 heat race wins. Oh. There's a bunch of guys that had 6s, but like I said, I'll go through the whole breakdown during the Benchy Award podcast. But yeah, so Ryan Marshall had 7 heat race wins, which is the most of the series, and then Tyler Coxhouse had 5 features wins, which is the most of the series. So it's awesome. That one of the rookies last year kind of came on real strong, especially halfway through this year. And then all your B-main winners were Wilkie, Gertner, Davidson, and Colburn with 1, so we only had 4 B-mains. And then real quickly, the IRA champions, like I just said, Zach Radar, 22 features, 18 top 10s, 15 top 5s, 3 wins, won by 40 points. Again, do not like the drops. Scotty Thiel won the 410 wing cars with 26 features, 18 top 10s, 12 top 5, 4 wins, won by 124 points. So that was pretty much
quite a bit.
Yeah, he was good for.
I saw that he just had to make the feature and he was winning it.
Yep, and good on Scotty Thiel. He's finished second so many times. Like, right when Baylog is like, yeah, I'm done, he gets Blackhurst to come join them, and then Blackhurst beats him. So, finally, Scotty Thiel, Big Wheel, gets it. And then Mark Einhart wins the Lightning Sprints with 12 features, 12 top 10, so 100% top 10s. Crazy. 10 top 5s, 1 win, though. Won by 18 points, but the top 4 were only separated by 50 points. So, boom.
Yeah, they didn't get much of a car count this year.
No, like, I don't have the Lightning Sprints up on a tab, but, yeah, they only had 4 shows at Wilmot, and then they only got...
Yeah, it rained out half the times they were supposed to be at Wilmot.
I mean, but what we were talking about earlier, though, like, that might have been a blessing.
Yeah, they wanted that.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be there.
Yes, I mean, man. And then heartbreak for Brian Strain Jr.
Yeah, he was on a streak.
7 feature wins.
Yeah.
And finishes, I think he finished 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, his Petska got
Then his luck turned into my luck.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, all he had to do was finish the Lightning Sprint feature, no matter kind of like what Petska or Einhart
at Wilmot,
did.
right?
At Wilmot, yeah.
Yeah,
and then took the lead and blows the motor.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw him pull in with like 2. Well, they changed the feature to 25 laps, and it was like on the 23rd lap. So he would have won it, but they changed the amount of laps, and I'm like, wow, they did him dirty.
That is insult to injury. He's gonna have like PTSD from like 25, no, not 25.
Yeah, it was a longer feature for some reason. I put fuel in Andrew's car, and I'm like, I hope there's enough in there. I mean, then they did a bunch of pace laps, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, there was a lot of yellows.
I only had a couple of gallons in there. Hopefully, there's enough.
Yeah, I mean that happened to us on one of the September races. So like people are starting to run out of fuel because of all the caution laps.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. But yeah, so I know you don't follow any IRA classes, but who are your top picks for each IRA class? Would you say?
I mean, I don't know the top guys in the.
I mean, who would
410s?
Yeah, who would you cheer for?
I don't know.
Whoever starts first.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But back when I was watching in the stands, I was a big Tommy Sexton fan. That was my go-to guy.
Nice.
And then I saw him climb the wall on the backstretch, and I'm like, yep, he's done now.
No.
And he didn't race much after that. But,
yeah. When you say Tommy Sexton, the first crash I think of his, Mr. Excitement himself, was the USAC.
Yeah,
flip.
turn one,
where he hopped the right rear or
that
rear.
That was bad.
Yeah, at the flag stand and ended up on the backside of the banking at turn 1,
Yeah.
barrel rolling all the way. That was crazy.
I went to the bathroom and I came out and he's right there and I'm like, what happened? I went up to my dad and he told me and I'm like, jeez, I missed it.
all the way down. I was there too.
I was a kid and I was like, when you're a kid, you're all for the wrecks. But
Yeah.
now that you race, you're like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, yeah. So your girlfriend, you said that she's all into it. Was she into it before she met you? No?
No.
Okay. So
she didn't know anything about it.
Okay. Nice. Sometimes that's the best.
Brought her into it.
Yeah.
We went for practice, and it was a new car at the time, and there was a bolt that was missing on the rear. It held the caliper onto the rear end so it didn't spin.
Yeah.
And I went into turn 1 and it broke, or the bolt wasn't there, so it spun the caliper, broke the brake line. I went into turn 3 and went straight. And luckily Wilmot had no walls.
Yeah.
She saw that and she's like, she kind of was like, is that supposed to happen? And my dad's like, no.
No.
And I told her, I was like, we're going about 60 out there.
Yeah.
And she sees us and she looks at my dad. They're only going 60? And he's like, who told you these things? And he's like, oh my God. But, yeah, I mean, when she got the loop, she's like, you lied to me. And I'm like, I feel like we're going 60. I mean, it don't feel like we're going fast.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It isn't until you find another class that goes to like maybe a little bit slower than you, and then you find out how fast they're going. You're like,
yeah,
well, crap, how fast are we going?
I mean, if I'm not racing and I watch the modifieds, I'm like, man, it does not feel like it only takes that long to get down the straightaway. It feels like it takes a long time, but it's like, it's weird.
Yeah. And then, so she was never into the crashes.
No.
Going for the crashes.
No, she didn't want to see them, but she never been to a track, and I was like, oh, the sprint cars, they flip often, and she was like, I want to see one. And I'm like, I mean, whatever. Cool, you want to see one. and it was like a year. There was no flips. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but there usually is. But
yeah, they're sissy footing it this year. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's nice to not see people flip, but you want to see one time. But we were at Angel Park, and I think one just, like, tipped over. And I'm like, there you go.
There you go. That's spectacular, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I feel that people that are like in the stands always like want to see a crash, and then sometimes they come back and they're like, we want to help, and you're like, okay, well, why don't you come next week and help us wipe the car down? And you're like, really? And we're like, yeah. And then they start doing that, and then they start coming over to the house, and then you're like, hey, so I flipped, and they're like, oh, so it's gonna be like so it's like a whole week now where I'm over here helping put back the car together, and it just changes their mindset. Like, oh,
they're like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, why don't you open your wallet too?
Yeah.
I need some help.
Yeah, when I flipped that going down the back chute earlier this year, the team come over and they're like, I feel bad for Ashley. And I'm like, why? They're like, because we're doing this all week. You can't just go in the house and stuff. So, the crashes are cool. They're cool.
They're cool. When you're watching, they're cool. But if it's you, you're like, man, that's like that much money.
Yeah.
You're like, man.
And I mean, this year I feel it was actually pretty bad violently for the non-wing cars because, like, technically, like, Marshall didn't go take an ambulance ride, but his was mentally career-ending. Not career-ending, but a break.
Yeah.
I know he said retirement, but like you can take the race car driver out of the car, but you can never take the racing out of the driver. So
he'll be in a car.
I hope so.
Soon.
I hope so because like
I can see it
because he's got so much talent, and I really hope that it's not just a waste. But so his crash was really bad. But then you had it's one of those names where I needed first names to get the last name. Let me go to the points here. Miles Doherty.
Yeah, that's the one that went off on the stretcher.
Yeah,
that was. I didn't see the flip, but I saw him come on the. That was bad.
Yeah, I was in staging.
We were parked. We were the first pit stall, and all I saw was the ambulance open and just him on a stretcher, and I'm like, that's not good. And I heard he's like only 15.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh man.
Yep. Took a big ride.
It's not good.
One of my pet peeves. I have a few pet peeves. One is when we're like got to the airport and we're gonna get off the plane. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets off so slowly.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Like we've just been sitting here for 4 hours cramped. Like just get your stuff so we can get moving. That's one. The other one is like people not taking cool down laps. Especially,
pull right off the track.
Yeah, they get to the start finish line, jam on the brakes to go straight. Like you don't know who's racing behind you, and that's kind of what happened to that whole deal.
I didn't see it, but I kind of just knew what happened. Yeah. Someone said something, and then I saw one car get pulled off the track with a flat, whatever tire he jumped.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, that's what happened.
Yep. There's that one, and then the other really bad one was First S flip in September.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yep.
I think that might have been in Tennessee. But
yeah, that was
No, it was a week before.
It was a week before.
Yeah.
But that one was kind of like the Hornet's Nest first lap deal where everyone's just
trying to win on the first lap.
Yeah,
you got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, where they were, there was no winning on the first lap, but there was definitely like feature-changing implications. Like if I can get these,
you got 20 more laps.
Yeah, if we can get these 3-4 cars right away, which I don't know. Like that's kind of like one of the things now that I liked about the Wingless, but now because we're driving non-wing cars, I don't like about them is because basically now. No one is breaking track records, meaning like the top guys are like maxed out.
Yeah.
So now that they've been maxed out for like a year and a half, all the other people down at the bottom are moving up.
Yeah.
Like all their speeders are moving up. So now it creates pack racing, which I don't mind.
New winners.
Yeah, more new winners.
Cool to see.
Yeah, but the part where I'm like, I don't know. It's like when racing is so close and there's guys that are like, I gotta do what I gotta do to get you, and if that means I just give you a right rear to like scare you,
I
I'm
just
gonna
put you in a wall.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, like I'm not. Yeah, so like it'd be nice if they kind of like reset some of the rules. Like I don't know how you would reset like not engine rules, but like I don't know, put in-car shock adjusters in there because we can't have any in-car shock adjusters. But that'd be enough of a rule change to make people like
have
have
somewhat of adjustment throughout the feature.
Yeah, that or go to a harder tire because tires are expensive. So make it last.
How much is your right rears?
$345.
Nice. Yeah, ours are up to $160.
Jeez, our fronts are even more expensive than that.
Oh, I feel bad for you then.
I haven't bought fronts in a long time, but I want to say they're like $185 or $200 now. And when we start,
you don't go through them very often, do you?
We'll run something over, or if the track rubber's up, we'll usually kill the right front. But like, yeah, we don't normally go through the.
That's what I figured. Andrew, he is on the same front tires as.
Yep, they're nice
for seasons.
That's nice, but then you have to buy different tires for your different wheel offsets, daggers, and all that crazy stuff, man. Whew. Oh man, all right. So let's see here. We had DC here. Did you save some clay from Shady Hill Saturday? No, unfortunately, I forgot to.
Gotta go back.
You gotta go back. Gotta make that 2.5 or 3 hour drive back to grab some of that clay because the modifieds were still running, and that's when I was thinking about it. And then we started drinking, and after that, that was all. That was it. Elliot here. Marshall was going for 2 on the second night until they only ran the World of. Yeah, that's right. Because he was starting on the pole, I think, Elliot, on the second night of the World of Outlaws, and he swept the night before. So we're like, yeah, he's probably gonna win it. And then it rained.
Yeah, we were watching on Dirt Vision. Watched him pass Klemko. He was hugging the bottom, and he's like, I'm going to the top.
Yep, gotta go where they're not. Autumn, only until the car gets washed tomorrow. Yeah, Autumn. It was so dusty. I didn't even pull a tear off all day or
that's
all night.
Nice.
So I think it might be
pretty clean.
It's pretty. I think it just needs
very
a wipe
much
down.
To wash on those things,
it's a wipe down. Yeah, man, it's funny because like for me, it's like, oh man, we got to wash the car, but you'd be like, bro, that's it.
Yeah,
it's literally an hour.
It's horrible. I dread going out there and power washing. It's horrible.
Do you leave the body on or you take the body off?
Well, if it's really bad, I'll take the body off. You can ask Andrew; he'll say I suck at it and I don't get it clean enough. I don't. Yeah. I get it looking good.
Yeah.
Enough.
Good from far from good.
Yeah. I mean, you go under there during the week, you might get a little piece of dirt fall on your head, but hey, then it's fine. Yeah, you can't see underneath it.
It's a dirt car.
You did see underneath it one time, but you can't see underneath.
What's your weight limit?
2450.
2450. Okay, and are you pretty close to it?
I'm like 2550.
Okay, that's probably because of all the clay.
No. Just a heavy car. I have one piece of lead on there just to help it in the left rear.
Oh, okay. So it's more setup weight than actual.
I don't need it, but
gotcha.
I have it on there.
Okay. All right, cool. And then Scott, butter for the win. Yes, melted butter for the win. Yep, that's an inside joke there. Don't know. I'll tell you real quick because man, that show went by quick.
Yeah.
Woo. Time flies when we're having fun.
1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour. Boom. So when we first started doing the live shows, I was doing it on my phone. And I was doing it out in the garage. And it was just like me just talking for like 20 minutes. Oh. Like, oh yeah, this is how we did during the weekend. Because like I knew next year we were going to run 410 non-wing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I should probably get my fan base up here by connecting with them more.
Yeah.
So I was just doing that. Well, I was supposed to prep dinner before I went live. So when Ashley got home, she could start making dinner.
Oh boy!
Because the butter had to be room temperature soft or whatever. So during the live,
throw it in the microwave.
During the live, I was just like, she comments and she's like, "Did you melt the butter?" And I'm like, and I read, I'm like, "Yes, I melted the butter."
No, you didn't.
I did. I had it out. It was all right. Like I did everything I was supposed to do. But she asked, and I'm like, "Yeah, I did it." And then that was it. And then 5 minutes later, I realized she deleted her comment So now on my live video, I'm talking, and then I go, yes, I melted the butter. And I go back to it. So some people have caught that. So Scott Sprout's been one of the longtime listeners here, so thank you, Scott, because he's every show he jumps on and butter comment.
For the butter.
For the butter. For the butter, for the win. Oh, man. And then Mark here says he has a mini car.
Yeah, you have a mini car. You ain't got much to wash.
Wait, so his car or your car?
I think he's talking about your car.
Oh, my car. Yeah, okay, my car. Yeah, I have a mini car. Yeah, that's right.
It's smaller than ours.
Yeah. Well, because I've noticed your car looks bigger compared to his car.
I think it's actually smaller, because I don't know, my panels. When I sent my dimensions to my person that did the wrap, he's like, that car is tiny, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, I look at the IMCA rules, and I'm like, it's close, but it's all in the spec. And he's like, all my cars that I've done are like 12 inches longer than yours. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. But,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's still in the rules, so we're good. So
okay. Because on Mark's car, I think maybe it just looks shorter. It
might be lower, but
lower. Yeah.
we have it's like 38 inches our deck height, but all of us are. He says that I have a smaller car.
He has a smaller car.
Come on. It's now smaller thanks to Scott.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, like I said, I'm just an uncultured swine when it comes to modified racing, because... Do you go to
try it out sometime?
I want to. I really want to. Even for practice, I would really like a race day, just to do everything and be oh, yeah.
You'll get hit.
Yeah.
If you want to feel a race car get hit by another car, just hop in a modified, you'll get hit.
Okay.
I mean, Wilmot.
Yeah.
It's a 90%.
Yeah. 90%. Yeah, I mean, those cars, we
take a beating.
I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you think it's just the way drivers race at Wilmot? Or do you think it's the rules, or no?
And the rules are all the same everywhere now that we're all IMCA, but...
Okay. Or I should say the discipline for certain actions on the track.
I don't know. The guys up north got a lot of money into their cars, so maybe that's one thing. I mean, everyone has a lot of money into their cars, but up there, I don't know, they feel like they give more room. But
yeah. Well, like I said, so at Shady Hill, they had the modified special, which was 100 laps. And when we were unloading our cars and they were unloading the modified cars, they looked like they maybe seen 20 laps on the track all year. There was no, maybe one car had a little, down the side, and that was it. And then I was going up to people and so you build a new car for this? And they're like, no, this is the one we ran all year here. And it's
this is last year's car also.
Yeah. And it's oh.
Yeah.
So you guys stay off each other quite a bit.
Back at home, we don't do that.
Yeah, back at home, you see that car there was one car that looked like they never took a hammer to it in its life.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like the side panels were going through puberty or something.
That's what we see.
Yeah. And it's all like that. I'm like, back home, they're more like that. And they're like, oh, no.
No, they take pride in their cars.
Yeah. And they put on a pretty good show, too. So, but yeah. Man, so if you guys don't have any other questions for Terry or myself, I'm here. Indiana's Midwest nice is really nice. Yeah, I mean...
Feels like a Chilton.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she wasn't there, but the Indiana tracks, though, everyone that shows up has an enclosed... 95% of people have really nice... enclosed trailers
with the 4-cylinders.
Even the 4-cylinders.
Yeah.
Our red trailer looked poor compared to some of the 4-baggers trailers.
We bought one of my buddy's dad raced 4-cylinders, and we bought one of his cars. He did that. What was it? Clash for Cash 4-cylinder race.
Yeah, it's like 4,000 to win or something.
No, that was at Wilmot. It was 500.
500.
And you got the cool big check.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm feeling under the wind. Do you want to race my car? And I was like, I'll buy it off you. I mean, I'll race it. And I raced it, and then we didn't get the feature in because it was past curfew. And then during the week, I was like, Dale, how much you want for that car? And he gave me a price, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up tonight. and I was still in the feature for that race,
Mm-hmm.
and we showed up with our enclosed trailer, and I'm like, Dad, I think we should find an open trailer to bring. And he's like, no, that's fine. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we got the only enclosed trailer. And he's like, we're fine. And we go out there and win it, and I was like, man, this just don't seem right.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
Took candy from a baby?
Yeah, I was like, I raced a modified. I jumped in a 4-cylinder. I don't feel like this is fair, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. I forgot about that race. I was like, how do you have a special for the Bandits, but then don't run them before curfew when you know you're going to hit curfew?
I was like, how they said, like, to staging, we get to staging, and then they turn us around. And I'm like, what's going on? And
I remember that. I'm like, guys, watch. This is going to be good.
I mean, I go over, I don't care. It's not my class. It doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all mad, and I'm like, you know, it's fine.
Yeah. Sorry, we just got a notification here that OBS disconnected and reconnected, so that was weird. But yeah. Actually, Wilmot hasn't hit curfew this year.
No?
No, I don't think so. Not once.
I heard they got a little cushion for the fall classic when
Yeah.
they had a bunch of classes. I was like, that's gonna be a rough one if they have 6 classes. I'm like that.
So I heard because they didn't hit curfew all year, that's why they're like, we can.
They got
we have buffer that we can do it. But yeah, were you there? No, you guys were gone.
We were in NASCAR race in Tennessee. It was a fun time.
Okay.
That's the only pavement race I'll enjoy to watch. But
Yeah.
it was watching paint dry down there. The first through 33rd were on the same lap times. It was horrible.
Oh,
I mean, the ARCA truck and Xfinity race, there was some exciting parts, but the Cup race, it was they said on the speaker, like, first through 33rd are running the exact same lap times. Like, no one was getting lapped. It was just, they're just going around.
Yeah, I showed Ashley pavement sprint car racing.
The thing is, when they wreck hard.
They wreck hard, yeah. Because, like, the dirt doesn't slow them down. They just skid.
Yeah.
But she's like, no. Because, like, mainly dirt, you have at least, 4 or 5 different lines that you can run.
Yeah.
Bottom, and then, top, or top, square down,
yeah.
Or slide, There's always a different line. But there's only, like, 1 or 2.
They're one.
Yeah, it's either on the paint or just off the paint.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yeah, no, DC here. Then there is David Rose. He is the man. Yes, he is. He is also half of the reason why I did not see the black car spun out in turn 1, because I was coming up to lap him, so I was just watching him going down the chute, like, okay, he's not going to come up.
Yeah.
And because I was going to the top in 1. And so I'm like, I hope he does it. And then he's kind of like checks up. I'm like, what's going on?
Black car.
Yeah, black car. It is, of course, it has to be the black car. It cannot be the fluorescent orange car.
No.
Or the yellow.
It's gotta be the darker one that you cannot see.
Yep. Oh, man. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, this has been a very fun show. Terry, who would you like to thank?
Gotta thank my mom and dad, and Playmate Cows and Stables for pet's sake. We got what?
Andrew said that when it got me.
No. And then we got Fireplace and Project X Graphics.
Nice.
And if anyone wants to sponsor me, I'm got my eyes open.
Yep.
Looking for stuff.
Yep.
Always looking, but I don't know. I'm just not someone that's gonna go out of my way to ask. I don't know.
It's hard.
I don't want to be shut down and then be like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just do it on my own, and then if I say wreck bad or I can't, I don't know, can't make it one weekend, I don't have like, oh, my sponsors are relying on me to be there.
Yeah.
If I want a weekend off, I want a weekend off.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. I don't want to be committed on every weekend racing somewhere. It gets expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to, if I had sponsor money, I would, but
yeah,
that's a setback.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole mindset and how you go about that. And every race team operates differently, which is great.
Yeah.
And every race team has different personalities, and that's what makes racing great. Do you have any merch?
No.
No? Okay, because I was about to plug you for merch, but I guess not.
I mean,
Because I was going to say...
we're this year we were going to get some. I mean, this is our first year with a wrap, and I was like, man, this thing looks nice. Mm-hmm. And we win, and we're like, oh, this thing is great. And then it gets destroyed. But, I mean... we were thinking about getting shirts and hats and stuff.
Yeah.
But Andrew has hats. I don't know if he has any more. But
oh, man. Yeah, he was on earlier this year. I don't think he had it just yet. But yeah.
Well, it's the same number.
Yeah, K9, yeah. I could say this is a Kiedrowski hat. Which one? Whichever one you want.
Which one do you like?
Yeah.
Which one are you
Who's running better tonight? Terry. Andrew.
Yeah.
Because, what I'm going to say was about the merge. So race teams obviously work a lot like your local bands or bands in general. Mm-hmm. So just buying their shirts helps a lot. A lot. Yeah. So definitely not just plugging mine or Terry's when he gets them, but just if you go to the track and you really like a driver, definitely buy their merch. It helps out more than you think.
I mean, and going up in the stands and seeing your own shirt, that'd be cool to see. I mean, I haven't witnessed it because I ain't got none, but
it's
to see people actually cheering for you. But
and proudly too.
Yeah, proudly.
They're like, this guy. I know. I was talking to Scott at the Fall Classic. And he's like, well. He's like, I want to get shirts, but I said I can't because I do too many donuts. I'm like, dude, lean into it. Put like a lot of donuts all over your shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
I think Terry needs to run the wingless sprint.
I can't.
I mean, once you go wingless, you don't go back. Let me just say that.
I can't run the wingless.
Oh.
Dad's anti-wingless. Can't do it.
Yeah, I mean...
He likes the wing because they got some cushion if you go over. That's what... He's like... He says those are make it less violent. It does, for sure. It's like a pillow.
I knock on... not... Sorry for the audio listeners. Knock on table. Not flip the wing car. But yes, flip the wingless car a few times. And they are violent. And I haven't even had... a big one like Dotary or Marshall or Furseth. Like I haven't had the fuel cell come off. When the fuel cell comes off, that's big.
Mine was hanging by hoses.
Yeah. Well, hey, that'd be a great sponsorship plug. When your mounts fail, buy blank hoses.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man.
I'm surprised that it's just like the push and lock.
Yeah,
the hoses. I don't know how those even held. No.
Man, craziness.
Tank was full, so that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, a lot of weight. All right, on our side, I'd like to thank Kenosha Plumbing, Next Gen Pumps, Pullman Auto, RevTech Manufacturing, Rouge Helmets, Ashley Brief Photography, Painters Plus, Bain Nelson, Jack's Helmet Design, Pinnacle Media Productions, Daybreak Church, Mirror Image Coatings, Turbo Tents, Hold My Beer, Bricks and Minifigs of Kenosha, Outrageous Apparel, Wise Guys Barbershop, David and Kathy Crane, Kylie and Jeremy Crane, K9sforyou.org. Special thanks to my beautiful wife Ashley, mom and dad Mark and Gail, big one fan Kyle, Nathan, Lauren Cooper, Ladders, Dave Schutzen, Elliot Hunter, Autumn, Joey, and Sarah, and then also my youngest brother Caleb. You remember Caleb? You went to Badger when Andrew raced, right?
Yeah, but I was too little to remember.
Too little to remember? Okay, gotcha. Because, he's...
I remembered some of it, but...
Yeah, you were born in 2002, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was born in 2000. Okay, and you didn't race Bad Badger.
No, Dad, he asked me if I want to race, but back then I was scared.
I mean, they're go-karts anyways. Racing a full-size car is way cooler.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Now looking back, I was like, hey man, I should have. But
yeah. But so Caleb raced that Badger really fast. Like Nathan's racing event, like there's going to be probably 50 guys, and he'll probably be an A main or the front of the B main. And the last time he's raced has been like 3 years ago at Nathan's racing event.
Yeah,
and he's just like so naturally good. It's like, man, if you just applied yourself, dude, you could be better than me and Nathan combined.
When is that race?
November 2nd.
Oh man. Well. because Andrew is having his kid, I think, at the end of the month. I'll see if I can talk him into it.
Yeah, you should. One last
I talked to him about it.
There's money on the line.
I don't know. I'll see if I can get him out there. That's something. I mean, we haven't gone like the electric go-karting in a while, but it's fun.
It's gonna be on the super track. So there's not going to be, you can't just go there during the week and be like, oh, practice.
Yeah.
So it's going to be just like dirt track racing.
Yeah.
So see who can adapt the fastest.
So is it like a road course or a...
Yeah, the road course.
Yeah.
At the Milwaukee one, K1 Milwaukee, or Waukesha.
Okay. Yeah, we went down to, it was a couple years ago when we went to Tennessee for a NASCAR race then, and we were going down there and we were like, we ain't got nothing to do. Let's go to a go-kart track. We found some electric go-karts, and there's these two fat dudes running faster lap times than me. And my dad went up to the worker, and he's like, how are they running faster lap times? And they were like, they were getting on their go-karts, letting air out of the tires. Like, they did it every week. And he's like, well, your kid's on a slower speed than them. And he's like, well, bump him up. Why should he be a slower speed?
Yeah.
And I smoked him, and then I set the track like fast time for the month. And I'm like, so why weren't you putting me at a faster speed the whole time?
Yeah.
And
we had to help their egos.
Yeah. Like, I feel like everyone should have a chance in the beginning, like, put them all the way up. And then you can, like, this guy's not too good. Slow her down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
working at a place like that, it is fun because
you get to see some wild stuff.
You're just like, all right. And when I was a pit supervisor at K1, they'd be like, hey, I'm like, I just put them all on 4.
Yeah.
As soon as I hit the wall.
That's when you slow down.
If you have to slow everyone down, and then speed everyone up so you get that number, so you can slow them back down. Like, don't...
Like, they hit the wall, like, act like, oh, you messed it up. It's slower now.
Yeah, point them a black flag, and then when they stop and go, what? Let them get hit. Now I'll teach them. They always did that. You point the black flag, and they pull up, and they go, what does that mean? Well, I told you that in the briefing.
Yeah, I said it, black flag.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
You're not doing too good.
Yeah. So, Caleb, your secret word is who? Me? Great TikTok. I'm about to show you that TikTok. Very funny guy. But yeah. So, next podcast is going to be a hot minute. It's going to be November 4th. Because next week, this week has been a lot of fun. Going from Punta Cana to Indiana to going to work. So it's been fun, but I'm going to take next week off.
Going back to work.
Yeah, today was the first day.
It's horrible.
Oh, man, it's so long. It's so long. But, so we're going to have the next 2 weeks off, and then we'll come back November 4th with a great show with the Benchy Awards coming up on November 18th. So don't forget to nominate your driver, crew member, crew chief, best looking car. And we'll have that going out on November 18th with the awards, and it'll be a fun show. And so thank you so much, Terry, for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a blast. And you don't have any more races coming up, right? Your season's done. Yeah, you said your car's taken apart.
Yeah, it's taken apart.
The first show after race season always throws me off. Like, so were you racing that? It's like, it's apart. And it's like, race season's over. Yeah.
It's done.
It's done. It's done. So awesome. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And, we'll see you at Nathan's racing event, unless you're going down to Indiana with us on October 19th. Yeah, October 19th for the Circle City Steel Block Championship night. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you very shortly. Peace out, Girl Scout.